Season 24 Takeover is finally here, and there are some crazy changes that were just revealed in the patch notes that we need to go over, and there's some very surprising things in here that you don't want to miss, such as changes to trios and duos. For starters, we already know about the assault buffs coming to the game, where they can have a brand new grenade-only slot in their inventory, plus how they can reload stowed weapons automatically, and will get a speed boost, faster reloads, and highlighting the target enemy for 4 seconds after cracking their shields. But let's talk about the other legends and classes that are getting updated. So on top of Ashe and Ballistic getting their buffs for the Assault class, Mad Maggie is also getting a nice buff. So with her Wrecking Ball tactical, she will once again be able to destroy Gibby's Dome of Protection, but also she will now be able to destroy Newcastle's Mobile Shield. And the dev note on this says, we're returning these hard counters to empower Maggie in this Assault focused season, ... for now. So I'm curious what that will look like in the future, but we'll have to wait and find out. And on top of this, Crypto is also getting buffed similarly, where his EMP will once again destroy Gibby's Dome of Protection. Looking at the support class, their Heal Expert perk has been removed, which means that support legends can no longer heal double with small meds or have increased movement speed while healing. And now the devs came out to say that since the support class was very strong last season, the faster movement and double small med heals gave these legends rapid combat reset potential that made them effective skirmishers, but didn't inherently have a team-oriented feel. So while this was great during the season of support, we felt that their identity was stronger as revival experts, and that this change will let them focus on that team-oriented specialization rather than feeling hard to kill. And Loba also got a nerf on top of those support class changes, so her ultimate is back to starting at 50% charge instead of the 99%. And what I find really interesting is that the dev said that this was always intended as a short-term buff to help Loba shine among an all-star support lineup. However, they do say that it messed with the delicate dance that is landing off drop, which impacted long-standing good players' behaviors around landing near your squad, looting, and using abilities into slightly more disruptive behaviors. Now, another big change that's coming in Season 24 is the muzzle flash and visual clutter being updated. So Respawn shared this video showing the difference in visual clutter between Season 23 and Season 24. They mentioned that visual clutter in gunfights is no joke. In an attempt to combat this, we've reduced the effects and particles you see when you fire your weapon. We believe that this update balances increased visual clarity while still selling the impact and fantasy of firing our own weapons. So all first-person weapon muzzle flashes have been updated. There's 95% less visual noise over the line of sight, including sparks, smoke, glows, and etc. The noise and visuals are now kept below the line of sight. They've reduced the size of muzzle flashes. They've optimized particle count. They've cleaned up noise from shells being ejected. They've cleaned lingering elements such as the smoke, sparks, etc. And they've toned down the lighting to avoid flickering on weapons and environment models. Personally, I'm really happy to see that these changes are getting implemented, as I think that there's always a lot going on your screen when you're in a fight, so reducing some of that visual clutter is a massive W. Now let's talk about all of the weapon changes in Season 24. So as a reminder, the helmets are getting removed in this upcoming season, and even the gold helmet, which now allows you to heal twice as much with small shields or syringes, and the red mythic helmet that gives you what was red shield, these will not be able to give you any protection against headshots. So as we've heard about with this season, the TTK, or time to kill, is being drastically reduced by increasing damage across the board on all of the weapons and removing helmets that offer headshot damage reduction. I'm going to talk about all the weapons and their damage buffs in detail, so if you don't want to hear all about that, you can skip ahead to where I talk about what's changing with duos and trios. So for the assault rifles, starting with the Havoc and the care package, the damage has been increased from 18 to 21, and the headshot damage is at 27. And now that beam shot, from switching it over to single fire, that damage has increased from 53 all the way up to 70, and the headshot will deal 105 damage. And with all of these weapon changes, we have to keep in mind that the majority of players will only have purple shield, given that the red helmet is going to be super rare. So for instance, since most players are going to have purple shield and you hit them 3 times in a row with the Havoc single fire, they will get knocked. The Hemlock is getting the damage increase from 19 to 20, and the headshot will deal 26 going forward. Similarly, the Nemesis is going from 16 to 17 damage, and the headshot is going to be at 22. The R-301 damage has been increased from 13 to 14, and the headshot damage is 18. The Flatline damage is going from 18 to 19, and the headshot will be 25. Moving on to the LMGs, the Devotion's damage is increasing from 15 to 16, and the headshot damage will be 20. The L-Star's damage is increasing from 18 to 20, and the headshot damage is now 25. The Spitfire is also jumping up from 19 to 21, with the headshot being at 26, and the Rampage has the damage increased all the way from 26 up to 30, and the headshot damage is at 38. They've also reduced the decay rate of the rev state over time. Now looking at the marksman weapons, the 30-30 is getting updated, where the no charge damage has increased from 39 to 43, and the no damage headshot is at 69. The full damage charge has increased from 53 to 58, and the full damage headshot damage is now 93. They've also slightly increased the projectile size at long range. range. The bow check bow in the care package is going from 70 to 75, and the headshot damage is now at 120, with the fire rate being slightly reduced. They have also removed Deadeye's tempo passive, and the shatter cap's damage per pellet has increased from 12 to 13. The G7 Scout went from 33 to 35, with the headshot damage being at 56, and the fire rate has been slightly reduced, and they've slightly increased projectile size at long range. The triple take has gone from 21 to 22 damage per bullet, and the headshot damage is now 105, with the slightly increased projectile size at long range. Going on to the pistols, the P2020 is going up from 21 to 24 damage, with headshot being at 30. The RE45 is going from 13 to 14, with headshot damage at 18. The Wingman has jumped from 45 to 48 damage, with headshot damage at 72. And also with the Wingman, the base magazine has now moved from 5 to 6, and they've added back white, blue, and purple/gold magazines. Going over to the SMGs, the alternator is now going to be at 18, where it was at 16 before, with the headshot being at 22. The car has been increased from 13 damage to 14, with headshot at 17, and they've added the laser sight barrel attachment to this weapon. The Prowler's damage has increased from 15 to 16, with headshot damage going up to 19. And the R99 is going back to floor loot, where the damage has actually decreased because it was in the care package from 14 down to 13, with the headshot damage up to 16. It also no longer has damage fall off. The ADS strafe speed has been normalized to other SMGs. It no longer eliminates movement penalty when equipped, and the recoil has been increased. The Volt's damage has been increased from 15 to 16, with headshot damage at 19. And now moving on to shotguns, where some of these weapons will not deal any increased headshot damage. So for the EVA 8, the regular pellet damage is increasing from 7 to 8, but it will no longer deal any increased headshot damage. And similarly with the Massive, there will be no increased headshot damage, but the pellet is increasing from 14 to 16. The Mozambique's pellets have increased from 15 to 16, and now the headshot damage will be 60. And the Peacekeeper is going into the care package, so the damage per pellet has increased from 9 to 12, and headshot damage will deal 135 to enemies. The choke speed has been significantly increased, and the fully choked blast pattern is significantly tighter. It really sounds like the Peacekeeper is going to be absolutely insane within the care package this season. And lastly, going on to the sniper rifles, the charge rifle's base damage has been unchanged, but the headshot damage at the minimum distance is now 135, and the headshot damage at the max distance is now 198. And limb damage has been reduced from 90% down to 70%. The Kraber's damage has been slightly increased from 140 up to 150, and now headshots will deal 210 across the board. Both the longbow and the Sentinel's base damage has been unchanged, and for the longbow, the headshot damage is 108, and the Sentinel's headshot damage is 126. Additionally, with the Sentinel, they have removed Deadeye's tempo passive. And now we need to talk about what is changing with duos and trios in Season 24. So similar to Season 23, there are going to be takeovers replacing the standard duos and trios playlist. Now, I'm not sure if we still won't be able to get 4K and 20 bomb badges in these playlists in Season 24, but we will have to wait to find out. Starting on February 11th through March 3rd is going to be the Mythic Mayhem Royale Takeover, where Rampart's new experimental care packages will deliver 3 Mythic R-301 weapon variants to us. So I really do like that this is coming because it allows players to try out that Mythic R-301 weapon skin before purchasing it themselves. The first of the 3 weapon variants will be the Hornet, which is the yellow one, which grants faster movement and reload speed, tack charge on a shield break, and ult charge on a knock. The Limelight R-301, which is the green one, will help replenish your squad's health and shields when damaging enemies, and the red R-301, known as Vermilion, increases critical hit damage and triggers thermite on knocked enemies. Next up, on February 25th through March 3rd is going to be another takeover known as Redemption Trios and Duos. So this is in collaboration with Creator Commissioner Ninjala, where if you haven't seen my other video where you're able to get up to 80 Apex packs for free in Season 24, make sure you check that out as I go over everything you need to know about these Creator Commissioners and what you need to do to get as most Apex packs as possible. So in this Redemption takeover, respawn tokens are a new mythic rarity survival slot item only available in this takeover. If you are eliminated with this item in your inventory, you will immediately respawn back into the action. So at the start of the match, all players are given 1 respawn token. You can collect additional respawn tokens from eliminating other players within the care packages or the mythic supply bins. There is no respawn limit and no penalty for respawning multiple times. So this is usable until the start of the final ring, and then any equipped respawn tokens will be exchanged for Evo Armor XP. Now these tokens will only last for a short bit when they are on the ground, so pick one up if you need one, and the respawn beacons can still be used to bring back players without respawn tokens. Starting on March 4th through March 10th is the Relic Weapons Trios and Duos takeover. So in this game mode, weapons will spawn fully kitted, and the only weapons on the ground are gold and mythic tier. Sights can be looted and swapped out, but all other attachments come with the weapon. There are going to be increased supply drops each round, which carry 2 mythic tier weapons. For only 2 weeks starting on March 11th through March 24th, standard trios and duos will be returning. Also at the same time, an LTM will be releasing, which is 3 Strikes Mystery Legends. So this is the 3 Strikes game mode that we know and love, but it will be returning with a twist modifier. And this is known as Mystery Legends, where all legends will be selected for you before entering the dropship. When you respawn, you will be given a new random legend. Now, squads can have duplicate legends, and with each Evo level up, you'll gain all upgrades for that level automatically, and your level will be maintained throughout respawns. Regarding some other weapon and attachment changes, the hammer points have been removed from the loot pool this season. Gold magazines now only take 2 seconds to reload while stowed instead of the previous 5 seconds. The 1x hollow optic has been removed from the loot pool, which I find really interesting. And when using the replicator, you will only get 1 stack of ammo per weapon, where it was previously 2 stacks. So there you have it, some more changes coming to Apex Legends in Season 24. Personally, I'm not really excited for all these takeovers with trios and duos, but let me know what you guys think down below and what you are most excited for in Season 24. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.